Here's what we're going to be slinging into today. So let's swing on in and do this. The character of Miles Morales first appeared in the comics in 2011. Writer Brian Michael Bendis was inspired to create a new version of the character after a failed attempt by fans to get Donald Glover in as the next Spider-Man. Miles was originally made for Marvel's Ultimate line of comics, but his popularity ultimately landed him alongside Peter Parker in Marvel's regular comics, and then eventually onto the big screen before finally nestling comfortably in the annals of popular culture, not to mention in all of our hearts. Yes, I said annals. Look it up. It is a real word. In 2018's Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, Miles, a biracial teenager in Brooklyn, is bitten by a radioactive spider on the subway and suddenly develops superpowers. After he meets and then witnesses the death of the Peter Parker of his world, Miles decides to try and take over the mantle of Spider-Man himself.
Hey.
He then takes on the bad guy Kingpin, who can open portals to other universes, and brings other versions of Spider-Man into this world. Thus, Miles teams up with Gwen Stacy and an older Peter named Peter B. Parker, not to mention other awesome spider heroes from around the multiverse to knock Kingpin down once and for all. Get it? Knock it down like Kingpin? I'm an avid bowler.
Hey.
Anyways, moving on. Because all that talk about those universes bring us to our next point. If you thought the first film had a lot of multiverse action and various Spidey iterations, including Spider-Pig, who has literally popped up in my dreams, you ain't seen nothing yet, my friends. As we saw at the end of the first movie, Gwen Stacy had found a way to reach Miles in his bedroom from her alternate Earth. If only I can do that with guys who don't text me back. And it turns out that she has joined a group of spider heroes from across the multiverse who are calling themselves the Spider Society.
And then I looked at my uncle and...
Let me guess. He died?
Anyways, this time around, instead of welcoming more new friends to his universe, Miles is venturing out into the universes. And we know that this film will showcase at least 6 universes of Spider Society members, with each having its own distinct look and visually striking animation. And speaking of that, we actually got to sit down with the cast and ask them about their favorite, and here's what Jake Johnson had to say.
Everything in this movie, the animation's so wild. It's like pushing so many boundaries that at times I'm just kind of like, what are they doing now?
Right.
Like the Lego world was really neat. Remember where it like jumps into a Lego universe for a little bit, and I'm like, man, what is happening?
Yeah.
So I mean, there's too much. You got to kind of see it, but like there's too much to pick a favorite.
I'm so excited. I'm sure
Me
you're
too.
so excited to see it. And they also told us that Gwen Stacy's world is going to change visually based off what mood she's in. Kind of makes you wonder what other universes they may drop in on. Perhaps a live action one, Toby anyone, Tom Holland anyone. A girl can dream. Okay, let's move on.
And a B in Spanish.
Ooh, okay.
Miles,
Are you trying to
mira,
kill
eso
your
es
mother?
imposible.
Cálmate, mami. Eso no es my fault.
¿Qué es eso que esto no es my fault?
Of course, with all those new universes comes the possibility of countless new spider heroes popping up. And along with the 3 main stars we've discussed, Miles, Gwen, and Peter B. Parker, voiced by Shameik Moore, Haley Steinfeld, and Jake Johnson, who you just saw, respectively, we know of at least a few more that are joining in on the fun. Starting with Issa Rae as the voice of a variant, Jessica Drew, who was the original Spider-Woman from Marvel's comic book universe. This version is also 7 months pregnant, which honestly to me is the coolest thing ever. I mean, how many times do we get to see a pregnant superhero on the big screen? There's also Daniel Kaluuya as the voice of Spider-Punk, and Karan Soni as Pavatir Prabhakar, an Indian version of Peter who is commonly known as Spider-Man India.
My name is Pavitra Prabhakar. I live in Mumbai. This is where the traffic is. This is also where the traffic is. There's traffic here too.
And then there's the glimpses we've gotten from the trailer showing tons of incarnations from comics, video games, and past TV shows. And my friends, I'm talking about everything from the PlayStation 4 game Marvel's Spider-Man to the Spider-Man Unlimited TV series, and oh so much everything in between. And I probably should mention that we're not sure if Nicolas Cage's Spider-Man Noir or John Mulaney's Spider-Ham are coming back, but I can tell you that I sure hope they do. We do know that Oscar Isaac's Spider-Man 2099, who had a brief cameo at the end of the first movie, is going to be playing a really large part in this one.
Whoa.
What the?
I'm Spider-Man. I need you to come with me.
Who the heck are you?
I just told you that. Listen. I'm from the future.
How dare you point at me?
Large enough, in fact, that it appears Miles may actually be at odds with him at some point, on top of dealing with all the villains. Hey, what do you know? Another great transition.
Everyone keeps telling me how my story is supposed to go. Nah, I'm gonna do my own thing.
All stations, stop Spider-Man.
Let's talk about the baddies. So we know for sure that Miles and his Spidey friends will be dealing with one big baddie named Jonathan Owen, aka The Spot.
That's not funny. Don't do that.
But if you've never seen him, his body's covered with little portals that he uses to go almost anywhere in the multiverse. And if that sounds to you like the kind of thing that might be a major issue for the overall structural integrity of the multiverse, well, gosh darn, you were just so smart. Oh no, I'm turning into my neighbor Debbie. So Jason Schwartzman is the voice of The Spot. And let's be honest, anytime you can get Max J. Fisher from Rushmore in your cast, it's a win.
You just gotta find something you love to do and then do it for the rest of your life.
We also know that Jorma Taccone will be in a villainous role as the Vulture in this film. But to what extent he is involved, we're really not sure. But anytime you can get a member of the Lonely Island in your cast, it's a win. Look at you.
Look at me.
One thing is for sure, it appears that Miles will be in over his head again and will be seeking and receiving all the help that he can get to keep his and everyone else's universes is safe. All right, we don't want to keep you all day, so let's get into our final points. Ooh, yay, behind the scenes, my favorite. Okay, so on the creative side of things, co-writer and producer Phil Lord returns, but this time his usual writing partner, Christopher Miller, joins him on the screenplay duties alongside fellow writer David Callahan.
Want to get out of here?
I'm grounded.
Lord and Miller, even though they sound like a law firm, are actually quite the funny duo as they've been making us laugh for years with projects like 21 and 22 Jump Street, the TV show Last Man on Earth, the Lego and Lego Batman movies, which probably explains the Lego world in this one, Cloudy with a Chance of Meatball films, and so many more. So we can only expect good things for this second Spider-Man film as they have a pretty good track record, especially with sequels. But we know that they're not going to end with just 2 films. In fact, let's take a quick glimpse into the future and see what's in store for the Spider-Man Society and more. More. I mean, I'm a real Shakespearean goddess over here.
Quick break for a cup of chai with my Maya auntie.
I love chai tea. What did you just say?
Chai tea? Chai means tea, bro. You're saying tea. Would I ask you for a coffee with room for cream?
No.
Across the Spider-Verse was originally slated to release on October 7th, 2022, but will now debut on June 2nd, 2023. The follow-up, Spider-Man Beyond the Spider-Verse, a title that suggests a potential MCU crossover, I'm very excited for that, potentially, is scheduled for a March 29th, 2024 launch. But that is not all, my friends. Early in the sequel's development, longtime Spider-Man producer Amy Pascal revealed that the film will also serve as a launching pad for Spider-Women, an animated film focusing on Steinfeld's Gwen, Issa Rae's Spider-Woman, and Silk, another Spider-themed hero, who's also set to get her own animated television series from Lord and Miller. And now it is time for me to catch a breath, because that's a lot of Spider things. Now, it's unclear if that animated television series is going to be connected to Spider-Women, but it indicates that the Spider-Verse will be a well-established part of our film calendar in the decade to come, and I am not mad about it.
There's nowhere to run.
Sorry.
My bad, everybody. There was somewhere to run.
But congratulations, my friend. We made it through that web. So that is everything you need to know before you go and see Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse in theaters June 2nd. Mark your calendars.